Yes, welcome along to episode 13 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365 with David Jennings and Johnny Dineen, counting down to the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. It was a big day Saturday, Johnny. 9 races at Cheltenham with the big Clarence House rescheduled. How was it for Johnny Dineen?
Saturday, bad day Saturday. Was winning a few quid, good few quid actually between Monday and Friday. I just said like I couldn't be caught, but it was between Saturday and Sunday. Gave it the bulk of it back Saturday and lost the rest of it Sunday. Right. So I finished up breaking about even, but I would have said, like, if you said to me, I wouldn't have taken breaking even waking up Saturday morning now, to be honest.
So you thought you had an unassailable lead getting into the weekend, but you were caught?
Yeah, I was caught, caught near the finish. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Fitness it might be, Johnny, would it be?
I think so, I didn't get this.
I know the feeling. We will get into Energamine, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of it very shortly. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a blow was it to you that Energamine was beaten?
Well, it was a fairly big play for me, but I actually did say to you last week I was having a little less on because of the nature of the track, the race. Three runners in Ascot, 6 here. Well, as I said to you, Editor de Guide couldn't win in Ascot. Do you know what I mean? He could win in Cheltenham. That's a big difference. And it's another thing as well. Horses are so fickle, and he's primed for the week before. And then you have to pull them back and then start them off again, and it's another imponderable that you don't really know about.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad?
About a 7.
7, okay.
Yeah, a 7. Yeah.
So it's not the end of Johnny Dineen.
No. I had a fair whack on him now, but it wasn't the end of the world. I was winning going into it, and I wasn't doing much harm after it, but I did wreck after that. A
lot of people were tweeting in, Johnny. They're worried about you. The minute Energamine was beaten, they said, "How's Johnny? Is he okay? Can we check on Johnny?" But you're still standing.
No, I'm fine. No, but as I said, I was tipping away lovely until got put away and rocked my way. I give that no chance in the world. Lost my brains in it.
That was your worst result, was it?
It was
weekend?
by a distance. Yeah. It came the wrong time too.
And your best result?
My best result I was winning earlier. I hit a few winners in New Toxin. Only for that, it lost me cobblers altogether on Saturday. They divided the maiden hurdle, and I clicked the two of them. Astra Matcha won the second leg, and Benazzi won the first leg. But as I said, I was winning even on Saturday. I was winning at one stage, but finished up bad.
Okay. So you won a few matches in the League Cup, but you were beaten in the Champions League.
Well, that's it. Yeah. I suppose whatever we like to describe it.
Well, there's plenty to get through, so let's get on with the show. Now, Johnny, before we get stuck into our questions from the crowd, we have a special offer to become a member of the Racing Post Members Club. It's 50% off the first 3 months. And Johnny, if they don't like it, you can cancel any time. You can cancel when you want. But there's 50% off the first 3 months. That's half price, isn't it, Johnny? That is half price for the first 3 months if you become a Racing Post Members Club member. And you will also get access, Johnny Dineen, to our Racing Post Weekender supplement, which is out this week, and you will hear the expert views of David Jennings and Johnny Dineen, because you will hear all our thoughts on the Dublin Racing Festival in the Weekender supplement this week. So there you go, you get that if you are a Racing Post Members Club member. First 3 months, half price. And what I should have said, of course, is all you've got to do is click on the link in the video description to get your first 3 months half price in the Racing Post Members Club. Johnny, so we'll kick off with our questions from the crowd. And the first question this week comes in from Warren Barlow. And Warren wants to know, what are Johnny's thoughts now on Energamine after he was beaten on Saturday? Sorry, Johnny. Can he still win a champion chase? Or, might I add, are we going with the Johnny Dineen philosophy of, he's in the bin, there you go, throw him in the bin, he's gone, never back him again, he can't win another race, he's gone, don't even look at him, don't even think about him, he's gone. Is he gone?
No, far
Johnny,
from it.
Johnny, you never forgive horses.
But it wasn't that bad a run at the same time. You know what I mean? I'm talking like, when I say don't forgive horses, they have to like fall out the back of the telly, like they've got to shame themselves.
He must have had a big telly to find Energamine.
He was there like with some sort of a chance going to the last, even though he was beat when he made the mistake, obviously. But look, my reading of the race anyway, he was ridden completely wrong anyway. For like tactically,
what should he have done?
Out and gone. It's what he won every race doing it that way.
So you think he should have taken on Editor de Guide?
I guarantee you one thing: in the big race, the champion chase, he may not take him on from the start, but he'll bury him after about 4 fences and he'll go for home then. Okay. If he's not allowed to boss the race easily himself. There's no way he'll be ridden like this the next time. Like
whole champion chase been held up.
He did against Dirt, against that horse. There was nothing in that race. There was nothing in that. You couldn't judge it by that. I looked back at his form. Every single one of his runs made all, prominent made all. Next thing they started doing this, messing with them, dropping him in. There's no need to drop this horse in. He's got to be left go and left attack the fences and put the pressure on the ones behind it. Like for a horse that jumps as well as he does, he was jumping up in the backs he was. He was pecking at fences. They never allowed him to use his stride and let him use his strengths. You waste of time hanging on to these horses when they're such good jumpers, such exuberant ways of going. It's madness, like holding on to these kind of horses. Absolutely madness. No, he may not make all the running in the champion chase. If he's allowed, he will. In my eyes, he will anyway. If he's allowed, he will. But I guarantee you, by the time they get to the water in the champion chase, Editor de Geet will already be passed by then.
And could he ruin his race by doing that?
No. Let him get beat all he liked doing that way. He'd ruin his race by running him the same way as they did the last day. That's how he'll ruin his race. Like, if they want him to get beat again, ride him like that again.
But is that not just setting the race up for Edward Stone? If he takes on Editor de Geet in the champion chase, they're going to go hammer and tongs. Paul will want the lead.
No, not necessarily.
Niall Hooley will want the lead.
When you have a jockey like Paul Townend, he's got to judge, okay, your man is going too fast.
Is that not what he did on Saturday?
He was back in fourth place at the same time. You know what I mean?
You wanted him second?
Yeah, I wanted him on top of it, but he's good enough to put away Editor de Geet at any stage in the race.
Okay.
Which he could have done the other day if he wanted to. Let him go and let him bone along. Let him stride away. That's my reading of the race anyway. And I think myself that he will be ridden a lot differently the next time. A lot differently.
Will he win a champion chase?
I think he still will.
Do you, John?
I do, yeah. And I tell you what won't win is Edward Stone.
Johnny,
that
come
has
on now.
absolutely
Johnny.
zero. That had no excuses whatsoever anyway.
What do you mean it had no excuses?
He had no excuses.
How did it have no excuses? So Tom Cannon is following Paul Townend. He says, right, this is a 2-horse race. I'm going to follow my main danger. He's following Paul. Next thing to turn in, and he goes, hold on a second. I've Paul beaten, but I've 6 lengths to make up here. He has to do all his running to get to Editor de Geet, right? Does his running, gets by him, and then he's used up all his energy by the time he got there. I think you will see a different Edward Stone. Alan King said afterwards, you'll see a different horse. He's coming into the race on the back of a fall or an unseat at Kempton. So the primary objective is to get his confidence back. He goes and he beats Energymine well. I think he has to be the horse to beat in the champion. How can you say he's no chance?
I don't fancy him at all anyway. I don't. I didn't.
Why? You tell me why now. Tell me why.
I'll tell you why. I think, because first of all, I think he'd no excuse whatsoever. He's headed Editor de Geet, right?
Yeah.
A horse that wasn't even in the original race is an absolute 1,000,000 to 1 in the champion chase, Editor de Geet. Absolutely no chance in the wide earth.
What price it again?
I wouldn't even
million.
mention.
Million to 1 chance.
I couldn't
That's
even.
million.
There isn't a figure you could put on Editor de Geet's chance in my eyes.
No chance.
None whatsoever.
Okay.
None whatsoever. Right? He collared him. He's headed him.
Yeah.
And he's lost in a close finish.
But you can understand why he lost in a close finish.
But he's going to give away 6 or 7 lengths again the next day. Of course he does. That's the way they ride him every single day.
So, right, if you
Alan King's horses, every single day you back Alan King, he's out the back. Every race, even if small races, novice hurdles like that. If you go to a place like Taunton of a Tuesday, you back a horse like Cobden's and Nichols. They're bang on the rail and they're out in front.
Yeah.
6 to 4 anshots I'm talking about now, favourites. If you back the similar horse of Alan King's, he's 20 wide and 4.
But Johnny, horses are different. No, you're painting every horse with the same brush. Edward Stone has proven time and time again he gets confidence from passing horses. He won at Tingle Creek being held up last. He was held up in mid-division in the Arkle. He won the race. You can't make the running with Edward Stone.
No, I'm not saying you can make the running with him, but he's going to give his main rivals 4 or 5 lengths.
But he gave Energymine ground and beat him well.
He'll give it to him again the next day.
And beat him again.
He won't. I don't fancy to beat Blue Lord either. Not a mind Energymine.
So what price should Edward Stone be for the championship?
I didn't think he should be favoured anyway. No way.
I disagree with you.
Well, that's it. That's
why you're a hugely successful punter and I'm not.
That's the game we're in, and everyone is going to have the same opinion as me. And
you're wrong on Edward Stone, Johnny. You've been wrong all season. You're wrong
as
again
a fella, I read a fella that has a very good comment. He said, "I'd agree with you, only then both of us would be wrong."
So you are still firmly in the Energymine camp in the champion chase?
I'm firmly anti-Edward Stone and I'm firmly in Energymine camp. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, Alan, if you're watching, I'm in the Edward Stone camp. So our next question this week comes in from Paul Milner. And Paul doesn't get all the love for Teahupoo. He doesn't get it, Johnny. He said he can't see him win the stairs hurdle. He needs soft ground. He was poor on his run in Cheltenham last year in the champion hurdle. What are your thoughts? Is Teahupoo your stairs hurdle winner and waiting?
Look, I couldn't say he couldn't win it anyway. I mean, he's a good horse, Teahupoo. Look, the ground is fairly important factor with him at the same time. Yeah. It looks that way anyway. Like he has, look, I'd say his pros are that he's a 6-year-old. He's right, like he's on the rise. he stays 3 miles well, and he's a horse with a lot of ability at the same time. The negatives would be the ground. Like, he has a bad course run too. Like, whatever, I know he's a champion hurdle, but he's 100 yards behind at the same time. He's been pulled out in yielding ground there a few times, and he did miss the Morgiana hurdle. Like, he finished last at 6 to Honeysuckling, Punchestown, and good to yield, whatever kind of ground it is. His form, he even managed to get beaten by, I remember selling out him against Jeff Kidder in Fairyhouse. Like, that wasn't soft ground. And he got beaten by him, and he should have beaten. Like, he's a better horse than Jeff Kidder. Like, he carry him in his back. He should be able to anyway. Yeah. And he managed to get beat there. So look, the ground looks important to Teahupoo, but if the ground did turn up, like, he won with some swagger and going, I don't care. He beat nothing. Obviously, he beat
very easy
rubbish in the race, but he did quicken like a good horse. So the ground is going to be massive for Teahupoo. I mean, if the ground comes up. Testing, who knows what they. But I always find with the race courses, like particularly Cheltenham, for it to come up like suitable to Teahupoo, it's got to lash down on the day, not up to the meeting. You know what I mean? Not the previous 3 or 4 days. Like, even if you remember I know there are different race courses, but on the Wednesday, like monsoon. Yeah. But on the Thursday, you just said it hadn't rained for a week. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know they switched tracks and all that, but you just said that the ground should have been bad on the inside. And it was nigh on perfect. So but Cheltenham is a place. If it hoses down at say starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, and races and it rains continually as it gets churned up and all that, you can turn into a quagmire by the end of the day. But that's his best hope, I think, and that's probably a long shot.
Okay, so he's not the most. You're still happy with Home by the Lee?
Yeah, absolutely. If Home by the Lee is nowhere near as ground dependent as Teahupoo.
Okay, so you have your doubts.
Well, I think the ground is massive for Teahupoo. It's massive for Johnny Colomb. It's massive for a rake of Irish horses, you know. And if you don't get your ground, you're going to struggle.
There you go. Teahupoo could struggle in the Stairs Hurdle if he doesn't get his ground. And our final question this week comes in from Sam Hurst, and it's about Bob Ollinger. What next for Bob Ollinger, Johnny Dineen? He's tried 3 miles, he's tried 2 miles, he's tried fences, and this guy wants to know, should he try the Ryanair Chase? Because if Allaho doesn't show up, it's going to be a very weak Ryanair Chase. So could Bob Ollinger be the dark horse in the Ryanair Chase?
No, stop. Bob Ollinger, look, is
now it'd be nice, Johnny. Be
I
nice.
will. Bob Ollinger was a great horse. Like when he was running it, I often said that to you before in the Bradley-Moore and all. Brilliant novice. Yeah. Brilliant novice. And up to the 4th last fence against Gallop in the Champ, he still looked a brilliant horse to me. Anyway, you know what I mean. But from that point, hitting that fence, his career is just like, I don't know what's the word is. Decombustulated, is that a word? I don't even know what it is or not. Anyway.
Can you spell it for me, Johnny?
I can spell it, but I don't know what it means. But I know it doesn't sound good anyway.
No, it's not a positive anyway, Johnny. Whatever it is, it's not a positive.
And it looks like he's not going to be back. He's not going to be back. And
will we see him next season, do you think? I think he'll be retired, will he?
It's very likely. I mean, these people aren't the kind of people like put their room in point to points and all that kind of nonsense. You know what I mean? I'd say he'll gracefully disappear. I think myself now. Like his run the last day is as regressive as any of his other runs in my eyes. Anyway, he's not even jumping properly now or anything.
He's not enjoying it.
No, and he's got a high head carry. The horse is an issue. Like, it's nothing to do with Bob Ollinger's ability. The horse has an issue, and it must have a physical issue because it's not performing.
But he wouldn't be. I know, but if he'd have a real physical issue, he wouldn't be running like.
But they obviously can't find whatever it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was actually talking to a guy there that looked at vetted him, and they said they've tried every sort of a test, and they can't do anything with him. Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay, so the other part of that question: if Allaho doesn't show up for the Ryanair, what wins it?
One thing I would go back to Bob Ollinger. One thing I've noticed about some of these horses lately, Bob Ollinger won a point-to-point as a 4-year-old, right?
Right.
And from what I see of point-to-pointers nowadays, they're trained to the ounce as 4-year-olds. They don't last anymore. Shishkin won a point-to-point as a 4-year-old as well.
Are you writing him off altogether?
He's finished completely as well, absolutely. And so is Bob Ollinger. Is a slightly even worse case than Shishkin, even, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean slightly worse?
Yeah.
Shishkin has run one bad race, really.
He's run 2. He's run the Champion Chase and he's running the Tingle Creek.
Yeah, but he finished 3rd in the Tingle
He did,
Creek.
but he finished like 2 stone below his level of form. But these horses ain't going to get any better. They're going to get worse and worse and worse. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, is there a chance, second part of that question, is there a chance you're talking about Shishkin there. Surely Shishkin has a chance in the Ryanair.
None whatsoever.
Well, what's going to win it, Johnny? If Alho, we're basically betting without Alho here. If Alho doesn't show up, according to the question, what wins the Ryanair?
I still think Fakir Darius is the horse to beat if he turns up in the. And I can't believe that it's even been considered. Let even Alho in it now, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because he's still coming without a run. He can't be at 100%. You'd imagine he couldn't be anyway. I can't that they're skipping Cheltenham to go to Aintree, like to win a Grade 1 that no one will ever even remember in my eyes. That thing in the Aintree is not a third cousin to the same meeting that Cheltenham is anyway. It's his last chance to win the Ryanair anyway this year anyway for Fakir Darius. If he doesn't win it now if they don't run him, well, he can't win it. But I still think he's the most likely winner if he turns up.
You're right. If they don't run him, he can't win.
no, that's true. Yeah,
and very much not in the Shishkin camp is Johnny Dineen.
Oh no. Once those horses start to regress, and I do firmly believe that it's a lot of this stuff is coming from the point-to-pointers that are so drilled that 4-year-olds, they don't last anymore.
Okay, there you go. That is Johnny's thoughts on Bob Ollinger and Shishkin. No hope for either. So folks, now it's time for Performance of the Week, where Johnny Dineen counts down his top 3 performances of the last 7 days. And this wasn't easy, I'd say, this week, Johnny.
No.
A lot of good performances.
There was, and there was nothing like I could have put in 6, and there's not a lot of difference between 1, 2, 3, if you know what I'm saying.
Give us number 3.
Number 3 for me was Stage Star in the novices handicap chase in Cheltenham. Off top weight, I think it was a 142. He jumped with a plum. He was ridden perfectly as well.
Just a
a
bula bus. A round of applause for Harry Cobden. To see him on Il Ridotto and Stage Star, it was glory. It was like watching Ruby, I thought.
Yeah, there's no difference. Yeah, well, virtually none anyway. Yeah,
visually none. Anyway. Yeah.
Like if you went back, if you showed a video of Ruby Walsh riding over Cheltenham and you showed that race, and you asked the fellow who you'd say there's probably the same rider. You know what I mean? Ivan's fantastic. Cobden's fantastic. But to be fair to Nichols, their horses are ridden properly. Always ridden. They're tactically one of the best outfits in my eyes.
Well, I love back. Changed your tune.
No, I always
You're giving him no winners at Cheltenham a while ago. Now he's
but he mightn't have the horses to win it this year at Cheltenham, whatever. But I'm just saying they won't lack for tactics anyway. Do you know
they're
what
giving
I'm
the best chance.
Of course they are. They're out in front and they're on the inside, and all the donkeys are out the outside and out the back. So that's why they win races that they shouldn't win.
Yeah.
You know?
Stage Star was very good.
But he's very impressive. But Stage Star is a good horse, and I know he's 142, so he's going to be going up to 150. He's good enough to have a say in the turners, but I'd say it's quite likely that he might skip Cheltenham and go to Aintree. And if he's going fresh to Aintree, the way he jumps and the way he's going to be ridden in Aintree, he takes some whacking in the novice chase, 2.5 mile novice chase there.
One thing I loved about Harry Cobden on Saturday in the 2 races on Il Ridotto and Stage Star, when they jumped the second last, he didn't panic and didn't go for everything.
Yeah.
He filled their lungs, jumped the last and then went.
Yeah.
I think that kind of filling their lungs, Paul Carberry always said that was the thing that he always tried to do.
He keeps that little bit for the final. He's prominent, but he also keeps the little bit for the finish as well. Do you know what I mean? If he can, obviously you need the horse as well to help you. But look, Cobden makes no mistakes as far as I can see.
Cobden is class.
And Il Ridotto was ridden the same way. Like I just a horse I thought mightn't get home 2.5 miles, but does stay 2.5 miles. Obviously, they put cheek pieces on it too. They might have helped it, but they were almost identical rides.
I love that on Il Ridotto. I was like you, I kind of fancied him, but I said, I don't know if he stays or not.
Yeah.
But they didn't ride him as like an on-stayer. They said, right, if you're going to stay, you're going to stay.
Yeah.
We're going to ride you prominently and we're going to bounce out, we're going to jump. And it was a brilliant performance. Okay, so number 3 was Stage Star. Number 2?
Number 2 was 3 Card Bragg in Fairy House.
Oh, right. You're going back to last Wednesday.
That was Wednesday, yeah. So look, he took on Spanish Harlem. It was 2.5 mile. The ground was bad, it's like whatever about T Hoopo, like bad ground is imperative for 3 Card Bragg. Like he won't be able to function at all at the festival. I think on good ground, no matter what kind of race he's in. I think Spanish Harlem is probably a fair tool in his own right, and this guy just went out in front and ground him into the ground. Basically, won 12 lengths in the finish.
Did you back him?
I had something on him in running. I didn't know what to back before the race, but when he got to 4 or 5 lengths, and he was 6 to 4 on, and he was like 4 to 5 before it started. So I said to myself, it's slightly less, but it's a better price now at 4 to 6 than it was 4 to 5 pre-race. You know, even though you partly guessed he was going to, but he was in a rhythm and he was doing things right. I said it's going to take a fair heart to catch him.
And
now,
even in the Albert Bartlett, Johnny, like if he's turning for home and he's there, he'll be keeping going. While others are stopping, he'll be keeping going.
If you got a monsoon heavy ground, I fancy 3 Card Bragg would win the Albert Bartlett by a hurdle. He would be that much superior to the horses. But the ground is absolutely...
And what happens if it's like on the easy side of road?
You'll find that he'll probably start rattling hurdles and things like that, finding it too quick for him, you know what I mean? He did that in Navan. I know it was 2 mile race in
hell of a performance
against Imagine and them horses. But I think he's an aeroplane on Irish heavy ground, and I'd say he's unbeatable over 3 miles. Like, he didn't even get 3 miles yet. You'll even see a better horse at 3 miles. Even the jockey intimated that afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, number 2 is 3 Car Bragg. So, Johnny, we've got to number 1 now, and you haven't really touched on the graded race at Cheltenham on Saturday. We have Naas on Sunday, Fairyhouse on Saturday. What's your number 1?
My number 1 is from Gordon. It's Tihupo. I thought Tihupo was hugely impressive. Again, probably wants the ground bad, but you wouldn't rarely see a horse quickening at the end of a 3 mile race the way
Even
he did.
The camera angles helped it visually, didn't
Maybe, yeah. So, but at the back of the second last, he just took off like a fresh horse. I know he was running against nothing, no, my design and them horses. They probably, but like he was hugely impressive. Like if the stairs hurdle was soft or heavy ground, he'd be like under 2 to 1 without a doubt. He'd be clear favourite. Would he get that ground? Who knows? But on the day, like I didn't see, there was other, like as I said, it was difficult this week because he could have put in and he won a 6 and the 1, 2, 3. You could go as far as 6 and you could even have left out those 3 and put in another 3, you know, that kind of way. So it wasn't an easy one. Normally they pick themselves, but this week they didn't. So if I could argue, which is why didn't you put in such a horse? Because, and he's probably right, you know what I mean? You could probably pick out ones from the weekend.
Well, I can pick out one anyway.
What's that?
Ahoy Senior.
Well, the High Senior won. Like he won a good race. But as
what are you laughing at?
No, he did win a good race. He did win a good race, to be fair. But like,
what's his Gold Cup chances?
I wouldn't really fancy him. No, I wouldn't really fancy him. Like I wouldn't say he's a million zillion.
Lydia Hislop does.
Does she fancy him? Yeah. Like looking at that race, now I didn't know any bet in that race, but I just said that Noble Yates will finish in front of a High Senior.
But yeah, a lot of people think that. But Johnny, a lot went wrong for High Senior, as in he took on Froden, then Froden took back the lead. He made one mistake at a crucial stage, and he still won. I think he's a better horse after Christmas.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Look, you could be right. Look, he's not out of it now. He's not a no hoper. But
he's not a no hoper like Edward Stone in the Champion Chase.
Well, he has a chance obviously because only 3 can win it. But I don't fancy Edward Stone. But look, I'd be surprised if a High Senior was good enough to win the Gold Cup now, to be honest.
Okay, there you go. But your performance of the week is Tihupo.
Tihupo, yeah, in the Galmay.
Just before we move on, right or wrong decision to switch the result between Ramillies and the Devil's Coachman at Naas on Sunday?
Wrong.
Wrong to change the result?
Yeah, wrong.
Why?
Wrong. Because, look, you can be critical of jockeys and all that, and I'm a critic of jockeys sometimes.
Really?
Sometimes, anyway. I think...
Sometimes.
I didn't never bet in the race anyway.
So you're an impartial observer.
Absolutely,
okay.
Yeah, absolutely. My reading of it is, anyway, first of all, when they showed him from the back, one horse was coming out, Am I Right was coming out, and the other one was going in, Ramillies. There wasn't really a gap for...
There was a gap, Johnny.
But okay, what if Paul Townend leaves him through that gap? You're saying, jeez, what are you doing?
Yeah, of course you are, yeah, but still... like.
So it's up to the jockey coming on, that notices this guy peeping in between him to close off that gap.
Yeah, but you have to try and keep in a straight line.
Listen,
you can't just go, there's a fella coming up me inner, right? Here we go. You can't just do that.
No, the bottom line in my eyes anyway, right? And
but you're looking at this from a punter.
Yeah.
But you can't just look at it from a punting point of view. You have to look at it from dangerous riding, from careless riding. Like, put it this way, if that interference didn't happen and it was caused by Ramillies, would the Devil's Coachman have won the race?
But listen, it was...
answer that.
It was caused as much by Am I Right?
Was it though?
In my eyes, it was like a two-pronged thing. There was one going in, one coming out. Look, I like Brian Cooper as a jockey, and
there's a big buck coming here.
Yes, the big but is, it is inexcusable for a jockey to ride in a 3 mile chase in Naas with 4 runners and get into trouble.
Okay, but still, that's not a good case for him not getting the race.
It is a good case.
It's not, John.
It is a good case because you shouldn't even be going for that gap. He was the horse.
That's neither here nor there.
The horse full of horse. He didn't need to do that.
But did the best horse win the race?
Yeah, but the best horse got the race. But
yes.
But the best horse should have won clean. It's my eyes.
I understand that. I understand that. But
I the one clean. And
but you thought the stewards made the wrong decision in turning around?
Yes, I'd have been gutted if I backed the one that went over the line first. I would. Okay. Now, they didn't bet on it, I don't think, on the exchanges. They suspended. But my reading of that is the winner, the original winner, would have been big odds on to hold that race.
Wow. Okay. There you go. That's just an extra little bit for them there now. We weren't expecting that, but we're disagreeing a lot this week, Johnny.
Yeah, well, exactly. As I said, I would agree with you, but again, then the two of us would be wrong.
And I think, thinking back, your performance of the week was Tehupu.
It was, yeah, it was.
Tehupu, Johnny Dineen's performance of the week. So, folks, you have heard Johnny Dineen's top 3 performances of the week. Now it's time for his Eyecatcher. Did you find one?
I did. I went with Present Soldier. He was fourth in that race to
Seabank
Bistro in Naas on Sunday. Look, he's a horse that cost big money, 300 grand. He's actually sold out of a point to point where the first 3 home made 300,000 each. And even the fourth horse made over 100. So there was like £1 million with the first 4 horses. Wow. Like, it's rare that you'd see 3 horses from the one race making 300. Two made 300, the other one made 305. The other one were Master Chewy and that horse, Davis, and Arctic Brazil, the horses of
Henry de Brown.
And on V, that horse of Elliott's, he was fourth in the race.
Wow.
Yeah, they were all in that race. Look, he's obviously had a few niggles because he hadn't run yet this season. He was stable neglected because Davy Russell rode Kansas City Star, whatever his name is. Dennis O'Regan rode this. Look, it was a fairly decent race, and he finished with a plum. It was 2-3. It looked like a horse that gasping for up to 3 miles. It's going to be a good horse at some stage in his career anyway. But he might just be tricky to train. The fact that he hadn't been out yet this year. But I'd say he did win races at the same time.
There you go, Johnny Dineen's Eyecatcher of the week. It is Present Soldier. It is what's happening this week time, and it's a big week, Johnny. It's a big week. It is the Dublin Racing Festival at Leopardstown on Saturday and Sunday. I'll be there. Will you be there?
No.
No. Okay.
That's an emphatic
no. That's an emphatic. You'll be where? In the armchair on the couch?
No, I'd probably have young fellas matches to go to in the morning. It would just be too tight for me to go to them.
You know what the problem there is, Johnny? You have too many kids. Too many kids. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know.
We are going to preview all the Grade 1 races at the Dublin Racing Festival, and we're going to have our charity bets at the end of it. Is your charity bet at the Dublin Racing Festival?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Jesus, Johnny.
Give
us a bit of love.
Everything is short.
Okay.
At the same time,
yeah, but we're looking forward to the preview, right?
Yeah.
Don't be.
No,
don't be dissing now.
I just saying that you couldn't pick out the Dublin Racing Festival. That's not going to be.
Well, I did.
Obvious. That's a bit too obvious, maybe.
Okay.
You know, that kind of
so we're going to kick off with our preview, and the first of the Grade 1s is the first race on Saturday. It is the Nathaniel Lacey sponsored novice hurdle. Always a corker. Latest exhibition won it a couple of years ago. Was it Manila Cocooner last year, I think?
It was Manila
Cocooner beat Manila Crooner, I think.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, and this year...
Galliard Manila won that 2-1 year, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He did, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
What do you fancy in it this year, Johnny?
It's a very good race, this.
Yeah, this is probably as competitive as any of the Grade 1s.
It is a real corking race. This is Good Land is in it. American Mike is entered in the race.
Sander
Clegane is in it. Yeah, they're all good horses. The one horse I'm hoping runs in it is We've All Been Caught.
He does run.
Does he run?
In the Racing Post today.
Oh, that's great, because not that he's not going to back him or anything like that, but you'd like to see how he's fixed with the Irish races in relation to like Hermie Allen and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for fellas that fancy Hermie Allen, you wouldn't like to see We've All Been Caught being beaten 100 yards at the same time, would you like? You know what I mean? It would throw a bit of a dampener on that the English form then. But I think We've All Been Caught's a very good horse, and like he beat Rock My Way, and Rock My Way won that race on
Saturday,
But what I couldn't get over with this race is I can't understand how some of the Irish trainers didn't run, like, not saying Paul Nunn doesn't know what he's doing. I would have ran Sander Clegane in last week's race in Cheltenham. You're getting a view of the track, and you have a much better chance of winning.
Well, because it's Dublin Racing Festival, Johnny, and it stands on its own 2 feet.
Yeah, but it's still a trial meeting.
But is it? It is, right?
I
know, and it's always going to be like that. I know, but the Dublin Racing Festival was not established as a trial for Cheltenham. It was established as to bring all the races from January and February together in Fairyhouse, Irish Champion Hurdle, Irish Gold Cup on the one weekend, and I think it's doing that.
Yeah, but these races always existed at the same time, didn't they? Like, you know what I mean? More or less. Yeah. Only scattered around different days. Yeah. But look, I don't know. It's a good way. Hidden Valley Lake's in it too, isn't it?
Yeah. What wins it?
It's a race I definitely won't be having a bet in, and you could apply that to a good few races at Dublin Racing Festival. I think myself, they're just tricky races, and they're going to be.
Get people to watch the preview.
Yeah, no, it's skinny ones.
Short prices, won't be having a bet.
No, but like, if you force me, I'd go Good Land, but like
Right.
it would only be a token.
Twisting both your arms, would I?
Yeah, you'd want to be paying for some of it if it lasts as well. Yeah,
Johnny Dineen, you do not need the money, let me tell you.
I don't look. If I was, I think Good Land is a good horse. How good I don't know, but I think he'll have a say in the race anyway.
Okay. Well, I'm a big fan of Sandrick again. I like that he's going for this race. Similar profile to latest exhibition who won the race a couple of years ago. I even think his form going back to the Galway Maiden Hurl when he was beaten by 3-car Bragg, where he's ridden probably less positively than he likes. I think that performance last time I thought was really good.
Yeah,
really
he's
good.
a big runner.
He put the race to bed a long way from home.
Yeah, no, he's a very, very good horse.
Loads of ability. He has the form with Facile Vega from the bumper last season. I think he's a good horse, Sandrick again. I'm hoping, because I tipped him at 18-1 for the Albert Bartlett, he can win this on the way to the festival. The Spring Juvenile Hurdle, Johnny.
Well, the Spring Juvenile Hurdle is going to be dominated by Willie Mullins, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't even know what's running, but you've got Lassie
Mouth anyway.
Blood Destiny. That's hardly going to run, is it?
Don't think so.
Yeah. You're into Gala Marceau then after that, is it?
Yeah.
And then there's a French horse that something, what's he called? He's in green and red colours, the same colours Echoes and Rain. He won in Arte. I just saw he's only 8-1 for this race. He never ran over here anyway. Look, Lassie Mouth should win that at the same time. You'd be surprised if he didn't anyway.
Absolutely.
Or she didn't, I should say.
She's still a she, yeah. That's Lassie Mouth for the both of us in the Spring Juvenile Hurdle. Moving on to the Goffs Irish Arkle, Johnny. This is going to be fascinating because the exchange betting surrounding Appreciated has been extraordinary. He's been back for the longer race on the Sunday. Now he's back in for the Arkle. He's been drifting for the Arkle. He's been shortened for the Turners. Now he's shortening for the Arkle. And what's going on with Appreciated? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's. You don't know. I suppose he's probably at home.
What are you hearing, Johnny? What are you hearing? Are you hearing anything?
I didn't hear anything. I don't know. He's probably at home getting used to the white fences.
Now, don't be riling Willie. Willie's a big fan of the show.
I don't know. Look, you'll know Thursday morning, I'd say at 10:30. I'd say it's as soon as I know.
Okay, let's pretend we have Dysart Dynamo, El Fabiolo, Appreciated, and whoever else. Who wins?
I'd go with Appreciated, I think I would. Yes. I think I would, yeah. I would. If he goes, I can't have Dysart Dynamo anyway. I just can't.
You
have
don't
that.
like him, John?
No, I don't. I just think don't think he's the level of class.
Tipped up by Tom Siegel price-wise in the Racing Post and his Ante-Post column for the Arkle at Cheltenham.
Who Dysart Dynamo?
Yeah.
You know, well, look, everyone has their own opinion. I just don't think he's. I think John Bond will definitely beat Dysart Dynamo anyway. I wouldn't be so sure about him beating the other ones.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Okay. I
mean, John Bond was going to beat Dysart Dynamo to rags last year in the hurdle race anyway. Definitely going to beat him out of sight. And I don't see any difference over fences either. Like John Bond is equally as good a jumper as Dysart Dynamo anyway.
Yeah, okay.
So look, maybe Appreciated might beat John Bond time come, or even El Fabiolo, because he almost beat John Bond. But Dysart Dynamo to me is the weakest of the three.
So if he's likely to run here,
Yeah,
will you be laying him?
Look, it all depends on the makeup of the race, David. Like if Paul Townend is on him, I won't be that anxious for laying him at the same time. You know what I mean?
I'd be surprised if Paul Townend ever got off Appreciated.
Yeah, but if Appreciated didn't run,
yeah,
say,
absolutely,
and you had Paul Townend on Dysart Dynamo and Darryl Jacob on El Fabiolo,
which could happen.
Yeah, well then you'd find it very hard to lay Dysart Dynamo then at the same time. You know?
Okay,
so it'll all depend on the makeup of the race. Yeah.
But right here, right now, if Appreciated runs, he wins.
I think so, but a horse I'm hoping to run here is Banbridge. Is that running? It is.
Well, I'd imagine so.
Yeah, because like Banbridge is, he beat Tommy's Oscar with a leg tied up in Cheltenham. Tommy's Oscar more than Boot Hill in Doncaster. So that's some sort of a tenuous line between Banbridge and John Bond, you know. So like I'd like to see him going and see how close he is to these good horses, you know.
But it is Appreciated would be your first choice.
If Paul Townend rode Appreciated this, I would back him, yeah.
Okay, there you go. And of course it is Appreciated for me because I think he'll beat John Bond in the Arkle and hopefully he'll run the Irish Arkle and I think he'll win this too. Moving on to the Irish Gold Cup, Johnny, it's all about galloping the Shams.
Yeah, look, he's like 4 to 11, is he something like that? I thought that's already where Conflated was going straight to Cheltenham.
Yes, likely.
Yeah, he's not going to run here. So
well, in the last couple of weeks the talk was that he's likely to go straight to Cheltenham. Now, this field is going to cut up.
Yeah.
So you could have 4 or 5 runners. So
Yeah.
in that case, maybe the O'Learys and Gordon will say, well, sure, look, have a go. We won the race last year.
Yeah.
But they were more leaning towards going straight to Cheltenham. Last time I spoke to them anyway.
Yeah, look, Statler will be second favourite. And probably.
Will he run?
I would have thought so.
Okay.
Like, where's he going to go?
Don't know.
If he doesn't run here, where's he going to go? It's just a very last chance saloon for these horses, isn't it? Unless you bring him to Newbury or something for a 3-mile race.
Yeah.
There's not much left then, is there? So I'd say he'll run, yeah.
Okay.
I would have said he's certainly to run myself.
Okay.
I'd say he'll give him some sort of a race too myself.
Yeah.
Some sort of a race anyway. Look, the favourite should win.
Yeah.
I ain't going to back him at the same time, you know what I mean?
So do you think he could win the Irish Gold Cup, but you still are against him in the Cheltenham Gold Cup?
It's a different race completely, like, you know what I mean? It's a different track, it's extra distance. Look, winning a 4-horse race and against your stable companion, that's not going to prove a whole load, even if he does it.
You know what I wouldn't be surprised ran well here now? You're going to laugh. I could see any second now running well.
Yeah, sure, he could fill a place. Who knows?
He could fill a place. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah,
sure, if you say if it cuts up and he's guaranteed, like you're into Fury Roads and who probably don't even stay 3 miles after that. You know.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what'll be placed, but the favourite should win it. He should win it.
Okay, so Galloping the Shams, I think, will cement his reputation as the favourite for the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Best bet on the Saturday is?
The best bet on the Saturday, in my eyes, won't be in Leopardstown. I don't know where it'll be, but I find the races, these meetings are tricky. You know what I mean? There's no either they're too skinny or. But you've got another thing. You've got the
too skinny.
Yeah,
Johnny, you love the skinny ones.
No, I like skinny ones. If there's nothing that, like standing in their way of like that they're trained for races and all that kind of. I don't really mind that. But like I was even reading them, like you had trainers coming out with excuses there, like Dan Skelton saying like. Protectorate, he thought he was 90%, next thing he's only 80%. There's not much good to if you back him at 64, is it? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or Energamine, like you betting 2 on like a hero, and you man saying he didn't like the white fences. You know, I don't know. I don't get that stuff in it. So like, you'll find that some of these horses won't be gunned for the weekend. Like they won't, like even Facile Vegas say, okay, it's going to be 2 to 5, and he should win. But he's unlikely to be absolutely drilled to high heaven. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So for that reason, they might be slightly vulnerable, some horses, you know, that kind of way?
You're not one for excuses, Johnny. You don't like excuses.
No, I don't.
Like I'd say if the kids do something wrong at home.
Look, if you get the excuses, they should be pre-race.
Yeah.
Pre-race. I don't mind if there's excuses pre-race.
So when your kids are, when your 18-year-old is going out in the town, you want her to go, Dad, I know you want me home at 12, but I'm going to be home at 2, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm snogging a fella here in the corner, right? I'm going to be home at 2 o'clock. Yeah. You want her to give you the excuses before she goes
Well,
out.
look, if a fella says to you, look, there's a bit of a reason behind the horse, not maybe that you shouldn't back it, I'd like to hear it before the race, not afterwards.
Maybe they don't know though, Johnny. Maybe they don't know.
But if they don't know before, they probably shouldn't know afterwards, do they? How do you measure it? I mean, is there something that you stick into the protectorate and say 80% after the race? I thought it was 90. Do you know what I mean? How did these fellas even guess this stuff? I don't know. Look, I think the trainers anyway will have there's never any shortage of excuses anyway, is there really?
No.
Like there's wind and there's blood and there's scoping and all this sort of stuff. Basically anyway, if you take something at face value, you're nearly better off in the long run.
Okay, that was day 1 of the Dublin Racing Festival. So Sunday, our first grade 1 is the Labrocks Novice Chase, and it sees the return of Mighty Potter, Johnny Dineen, who was brilliant in the Drimmore. Is he going to be brilliant here?
He's definitely the horse to beat anyway. And then looking down through the field, I didn't think he was bad price around 9 to 4, to be honest.
Neither, no.
Yeah. No. Look, he's got Hamé de Berlay, the Spanish version, and he's got like Galliard de Menil is in the race. I think is he going to run? I'm not sure. Like Mighty Potter's form is a step above those horses now. To be fair, I think he is anyway. Like he beat Galliard de Menil in the Drimmore, didn't he? After all, so look, I think he's the horse to beat. He's almost a certainty to run in here too, isn't he? I'd say.
Yeah, well, I don't know where else it's going to go.
Yeah. Like he's either going to go straight or he's going to run here. So look, I'd consider him as a bet now on Sunday. There's actually more bets for me on Sunday than Saturday.
Oh, good, Johnny. Good. A bit of enthusiasm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I'll be playing Sunday for definite. I'll be having a few lumps Sunday, but Saturday I'll be taking it a bit handier.
Okay, so we're going to bring you off the bench, Johnny. Sunday morning, you're coming off the bench, and you're going to get stuck into Mighty Potter, who I think is going to be very hard to beat, and I think he's a massive player in the Turners. The one horse in here, okay, that I think has a big chance in the Turners, and I was so tempted to put him up this week for my Ante-Post bet because I think he's a good horse, is Journey With Me, okay? Because his jumping has got together. He's not entered in the Brown Advisory. He's only entered in Turners. He was beaten by Impervious, getting weight, obviously, but I don't know if that track suited him, the inside track at Punchestown. I think if Journey With Me runs here, he'll give Mighty Potter his fill of it, I'd say. But Mighty Potter is a very good horse.
Yeah, like Journey with Me is definitely getting better.
Jumping was brilliant to punch.
Yeah, no, he's definitely getting better. Saying that, I always think when a horse, if they're good hurdlers, they're about the same level chasing wise, invariably anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Like you'd always hear of these fellas saying, "Oh, he's going to be a much better chaser." I think that if a good horse, a really good hurdle horse, look, put it this way: if a good hurdle horse if A will beat B over hurdles, and A has no fault over fences, he'll beat B over fences too.
But Johnny, isn't that like any amount of examples of horses that have improved massively when they went chasing?
But they won't have improved like at the top level. They won't have improved enormously. Like you'll have the odd one, all right. But I'm just saying that.
Well, I can think of one.
Who's that?
Sprinter Sacra.
But Sprinter Sacra didn't spend any time over hurdles, did he? Like
He ran the Supreme.
yeah, but he ran a Cork in the Supreme. He finished third.
He
in
was
the
only
same
third.
time.
He
Yeah.
hammered all them horses over fences.
Yeah, oh, I know, but like he didn't spend like. He didn't run 20 times over hurdles.
Ah, you're changing the argument.
No,
now,
I'm
Johnny.
not. I'm
You're
not.
changing the argument.
I'm not. But okay, you're going to have except like Best Mates is probably one of them, of course.
Probably, yeah.
yeah.
Probably one, yeah.
But again, these horses they spent a novice career and then they went straight over fences.
Okay.
Like they're probably chasers running.
So
over
you want
hurdles.
horses that have ran for a couple of seasons over hurdles?
Like no, what
There's
I'm
obviously a reason why.
what I'm saying is that Journey with Me over hurdles fell at the last in the Ballymore last year, like well beaten by Sir Gerard.
Why can he not be a better chaser?
He can be a better chaser, but can he be that much better to be better than horses like Sir Gerard over fences? I'm not so sure that he can. Like, will he be like to me, Journey with Me was never going to be a top horse over fences.
No, okay.
But he is a good horse, very good horse.
Yeah.
But I can't ever see him being I don't see him winning a Cheltenham Grade 1 over fences. Put that way.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair
You
enough.
know.
I do kind of see your point. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. So it is definitely Mighty Potter for you.
Yes, yeah.
Probably just Mighty Potter for me ahead of Journey with Me. Moving on to the Dublin Chase, which is unlikely to see Edgar Gamine again.
Yeah.
It's Blue Lords for the taking.
Surely, yeah. This looks a giveaway, doesn't it? Really. It's like if they pick one horse that can't get beat there for the weekend, it's nearly this one.
How
Yeah.
what price could you back him at?
Probably. Look, I saw 4 to 9. It didn't look a bad price because when he was beaten, he's only got to beat Gentleman to Me and Dunvegan and those kind of horses. You know, I mean, it's going to be a pretty ordinary group, Grade 1. It's like
Biggest danger could be the fellow double green owned So Royal, couldn't he?
look, if Blue Lord can't beat a horse like So Royal anyway, he's no business going anywhere. Like, do you know what I mean? Has he? Just So Royal is older than Methuselah, isn't he? Like, do you know what I mean? So Royal is nice.
He's older than what?
Methuselah. Is he one of those fellas? Those like ancient. I don't know. Look, he's 10 or 11. He's a grand horse like So Royal. But like if a potential champion chaser couldn't take care of So Royal at this hour of his life anyway, he'd no business going anywhere. He'd beat So Royal out. He'll win 2 Blue Lord. He is a cert now, absolute certainty.
Absolute certainty,
Yeah.
Blue Lord. Okay, I think Blue Lord will win. Wouldn't be as confident as Johnny, but I do think he'll win the double
Like, I'd
chase.
definitely back him if I was winning on the day anyway, guarantee I would,
Okay.
yeah.
The Irish Champion Hurdle, Chanel Farmer sponsored Irish Champion Hurdle. Honeysuckle v Stateman v the very, very eye-catching Vauban from the Madison Hurdle. Can Vauban win this, Johnny?
No, I don't think so. I'd be surprised if he does. I would. I wouldn't fancy him. No, I don't. I think Stateman will win, and I will definitely be considering.
So he's
facing him.
odds against at the moment. Is that value?
It all depends on Honeysuckle, how good Honeysuckle is.
Well, how good do you think she'll be?
I don't know, but I think the betting will get her right.
Okay, I see what
Yeah.
you're doing here. Okay.
Yeah, I think the betting might get her right.
Okay.
The betting got her right every other day. You know,
Yeah.
like bar maybe the but Honeysuckle was always strong in the betting, unbelievably so at certain races.
Yeah.
You know, even in Champion Hurdles and
Champion
that.
Hurdle the first year she
Yeah.
won it. Do you remember that?
Like every fella was laying her at 2 to 1 finish up about 5 to 4. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Thinking that they were getting her in soft, and
Yeah.
next thing like they hammered her like into big odds on in the second Champion Hurdle too.
Yeah.
I'd say that the betting might get if I thought there was a bit of an element of weakness in Honeysuckle, I'd sell out in Stateman because I think Vauban will not beat Stateman.
Okay. What garage are you on to now? Is it the next neighbourhood or
Or up in the top road now, the road above
all
us.
the garages on the road are gone? But
Yeah.
you'll sell one of the garages for
I
Stateman.
will have something on it anyway. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah, I look. I don't.
You're convinced, like if you were to get a match bet Vauban v Stateman, you think Stateman would definitely finish in front of Vauban here?
barring accidents. Yeah, every
Okay.
single day of the week. Yeah,
Every single day?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
Even Monday? Yeah.
Even Monday, yeah, it
Okay.
would. Even I would have faced him any day of the week to beat Vauban. It would.
Okay, so odds against Stateman probably decent
I
value?
think so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, yeah.
I think I would love, like, you're a punter, right? You're punter first.
Yeah.
Racing fan second.
Yeah.
I'm the other way around, okay?
Okay.
So, like, Honeysuckle to win the Irish Champion Hurdle on Sunday. I would happy not to back a winner over the 2 days for Honeysuckle to win. Like, I would literally, it would make my year if Honeysuckle won the Irish Champion Hurdle.
Jesus.
The reception, the story, like, it would be magic. You wouldn't get into
I'd be the exact opposite. I'm not joking, you know. If you gave me a choice of Honeysuckle winning the Irish Champion Hurdle, or there's €2 on the ground, you can have the €2 if Honeysuckle don't win the champion. I'd take up the tarmac to get at the €2. Are you serious? I couldn't. I don't look at horses like that at all. I don't know. Look, fellas, look at things completely differently. Like, if I back Honeysuckle and she's beaten, I'm calling her every name under the sun. So you absolute waste of space. I don't have any interest whatsoever in.
I'd take up the tarmac to get the €2.
Look, basically, when the race is over, as far as I'm concerned, when they go by the line, that's me finished with them. Do you know what I mean? I don't go down to prairies and put your eye, Honeysuckle and all this sort of stuff. Not interested. I went on to the next race. By the time Honeysuckle is in the prairie, I'm stuck in the 340 in Sundle looking at it. Do you know what I mean? That's basically the way I look at it anyway. But everything is different. I'm not a real racing aficionado or whatever you like to call it.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I hope Honeysuckle wins anyway, John.
Well, it wouldn't bother me if Honeysuckle won. I wouldn't lose any sleep. If it didn't cost me money, she could be winning away all she likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if put it this way, if I have my cobblers and Stateman and Honeysuckle beats it, like I know how to go.
But just say if you didn't have a bet in the race, okay?
Yeah.
And Honeysuckle wins, and she, quick and clear under Rachel, and Rachel is coming back into the parade ring, and she's standing up in the stirrups, and the crowd are going wild. Any effect on you whatsoever?
We'll probably be watching 401, the soccer match, while she's gone in. Do you know what I mean? They'll be switched the channels even. No interest whatsoever in that kind of stuff. None.
Right, there you go. Moving on to the final Grade 1 of the weekend. It is the Tattersall's Ireland Novice Hurdle, and it sees Johnny's beloved Facile Vega, who he will definitely want to win here, against High Definition. Johnny, this is going to be interesting here. We're going to get a gauge of how good Facile Vega is. Yeah,
well, it's probably going to be a sterner test than normal. I think it'll win, though. I do. And I would be strongly suspicious that Facile or High Definition could blow out in this race completely. There's no way he'll get away with the messing he was doing at Christmas anyway, jumping up on top of hurdle and out to the right and all that kind of stuff. Now, I know he's a good horse and he's a good flat horse, but how long would he stay in love with the game either? You know what I mean? He wasn't exactly in love with
the form has been frank, like Jatara
against
Astro Diamond.
Yeah, Jatara's decent, but like there was missing the last hurdle of strange race too. Look, if he does any kind of that messing, he's going to be gone out of the race completely. I wouldn't fancy him to place actually High Definition. I think Facile Vega will win, obviously, and if there is a dark horse in the race, it could be in the pocket, would it?
Oh, will he run here?
He's entered in it anyway. Oh,
yeah. I like that horse.
Sure, he's not. I don't think he's in the 2 mile 6 race, is he?
I don't know.
I don't think he is.
Okay.
I wouldn't swear on that, but I don't think he is. But he would be. He's a good horse in the pocket.
Very good. I like the way he went through the gap. But
like, put it this way: if Facile Vega didn't run it, I'd have my cobblers on him to beat High Definition. Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely. I wouldn't fancy High Definition at all in this race, anyway. To be honest.
Okay, so Johnny is laying High Definition, and he is likely to back Facile Vega, and hoping for all your troubles at Cheltenham that Facile Vega does the business.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's very hard to oppose Facile Vega there. And your best bet on Sunday, Johnny?
I'll go with Stateman. I think.
Stateman for you.
I think he'll go with him. Yeah.
Stateman. Okay. I won't reveal mine because it's my charity bet.
Okay.
That was our very informative, very entertaining, and interesting to hear Johnny's thoughts on Honeysuckle preview of the Dublin Racing Festival. Now, folks, it's time for DJ versus Johnny, our weekly charity bet competition. No luck last week, Johnny?
No luck. I can't even remember what it. Oh, Grand Soir, was it?
Grand Soir.
Oh, Randire, yeah. Oh, desperate.
Disappointing. Well, it ran better than mine.
What?
Gabby's Cross and the
yeah.
My second choice would have been Drash and
Lasher.
Oh, yeah. My third choice would have been a High Senior. So if I got to the third choice, I would have gotten up. So there you go. But no luck. So it's still 600 quid to me and 400 quid to you. So you have 200 quid to make up. Okay. But I have a winner this week, Johnny.
Good.
I have to say, of all my weeks picking out a charity bet, this is my strongest fancy of the entire Upping The Ante series so far, because this is the mother and father of all good things. This is right. 4:40 Leopardstown Sunday. Lily Duberlay, okay? Trained by Stuart Crawford, owned by Isaac Swade and Simon Muneer. Won the race last year. A remarkable feat this would be for a horse to win 2 bumpers,
Yeah.
one year after the other. Like I'd say, there's very few horses that have done that. Has to give £3 away to our main rivals. But she won the race last year, Johnny, right? Do you know what was in behind her? Ashro Diamond, right? Liberty Dance, Harmonia Maker. It was a proper race last year. It was a big blanket finish. She was still raw, but she just held on, okay? Battling Bessie was second. Pink in the Bark was favourite, okay, right?
Yeah.
She comes back this year. She runs in the listed mare's bumper at Navan, right? Down the back straight, she was on the inside, then she was on the outside, then she hung. Jatara got first run, and she flies home, right? By far the best mare in the race at Navan. Since then, Jatara has gone to Leopardstown at Christmas and finished second high definition, has gone to Fairyhouse last Saturday and was just beaten by Ashro Diamond. Looked like winning over the last, okay? This is quality form against quality mares. She's back running against mares that have probably 1 run under their belt. This is a proper graded mare. That's 5-1 for the mare's bumper on Sunday. Lily de Burlay for me, Johnny. I have to wait until the final race of the Dublin Racing Festival for the best bet of the weekend. But Lily de Burlay at 5-1 is my weekly charity bet. So that will get 300 quid into the kitty for me, Johnny. So there you go.
If you put up a convincing argument anyway, to be fair.
Johnny, I just can't wait for 440 on Sunday.
I thought it was
She has so amount of ability, this mare. Right, go on, follow that. Follow that.
Well, I'm down at 400 and I was even thinking of this tonight. It would be shameful that it's 20 weeks by 50, so it would be shameful if we didn't get to the 1,000 anyway. You know what I mean? Because they'd have we had 20 non-runners. Yeah. So if I don't make the 1,000, I will make it up myself. Is that okay for the charity?
Johnny, you're a gentleman.
Anyway,
thank you very much.
But I don't expect to have to anyway. So,
well, you better get the finger right then.
Right, okay. But anyway. I'm going to go with a horse tomorrow because it's definitely running in here for starters.
Oh, you're going for runners now?
Yeah, I'm going for runners. Yeah, because if I pick something the weekend that doesn't run, we're making only the
Where's it running?
Leicester. It's run its last 2 runs in Leicester as well. It's a horse called Cuthbert Dibble. It's trained by
What's it called?
Cuthbert Dibble. Cuthbert, Bert, and then Dibble. It's a
Dibble?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who trains it?
Nigel Twiston-Davies.
And who rides it?
Sam Twiston-Davies.
Okay. What price are you expecting?
I'm expecting her in around 7-4, 2-1
Okay.
ish. I'm not sure exactly.
Okay.
But it's run twice there. It's been like, this is a 2.5 mile race. It's gasping for 2.5 miles. Gets outpaced, and it's a big galoot of a yoke too. It knocks down hurdles and everything.
Gasping would not be going the other way. Gasping to go down and trip. No.
Oh no, it definitely needs an extra, because I've opposed it twice anyway. Okay. And if I had an extra 50 yards both days, would nearly have won that. I mind an extra half mile. But it's a big, like, raw horse that knocks down hurdles and everything. But it has loads of ability, and I think it's a good thing tomorrow, to be honest. Now in this race, it's getting weight off of winners and all that kind of stuff. Okay. But I do fancy it well.
We'll have a word with Bet365. We'll try and get maybe 2-1 or 5-2.
Yeah, I don't even know what price it won't be that short anyway. You know?
Okay. Give us the name of it again.
Cuthbert Dibble.
What a name. And what time is the race?
2:35 in Leicester.
2:35 Leicester is Johnny's weekly charity bet. It's time for the picks. Yes, Johnny Dineen and David Jennings' latest selections for the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. And before we do, just a reminder to Upping The Ante viewers that Bet365 are fantastic sponsors of this show for the last number of years. They have gone non-runner, no bet at Cheltenham for 2023. So they're non-runner, no bet. So you can get your normal price, which we are tipping here, and your non-runner, no bet price. So we've got 2 options. You can back Ante-Post or non-runner, no bet, which is a fantastic facility, Johnny. And at least it lets you decide, right, do I want to be brave and take the bigger price, or do I want to play it safe and take the smaller price? You have both options, which I think is great.
No, absolutely, yeah. Well, non-runner bet is if the price is right, it is a great addition, is right.
But for the purposes of this show, non-runner no bet, like, it's no real good to us, really. Do you know what I mean? We want a selection. We want to get the bigger price. Okay. So while that non-runner no bet facility is there, we're going for the bigger price, right?
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
And Johnny, I have to say one thing. We're being very safe this week, okay?
Okay.
Very safe. There was one week there where we had 40-1 shot, 33-1 shot, 20-1 shot. Yeah. But this week, ladies and gentlemen, Johnny is picking a 4-1 shot, and me, I'm picking a 3-1 shot. We're playing it safe. We're trying to get 2 winners on the board this week, Johnny.
Well, that's it, yeah. I suppose they're 40-1 for a reason too, aren't they? Some of these horses and 20s and all that kind of prices.
Do you want to go first or second?
It's up to yourself, I don't mind. I'll go first. Look, I'm going to go with it's for me in the bumper in Cheltenham.
I thought you might.
Yeah, I think he'll win. I don't know. The thing about him, I
love the way you started. I think he'll win. I don't know.
But I look, I don't see anything in the bumper in Leopardstown that's going to really cause a ripple in the market, unless maybe something will hose in on it. But I've seen stronger divisions of that race over the years. You know what I mean? And I'd expect Patrick Mullins to ride it, a stable selection. I'd expect it to be the stable selection. I'd be surprised if he's not. And if he is, I think he'd be around the same price as the last year's winner, 2-1.
Yeah.
And I think he'll win too.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, the one thing I will say, I was working in Navan when It's For Me won the bumper, and Patrick was pleasantly surprised, I think. I think he got a really good feel. Yeah. I think he only goes through the motions at home, this horse. His point form is obviously working out really well.
Oh, it is. Even the Winners Rock My Way, I know it's a pretty tenuous, like they're gone to different countries.
It isn't.
Yeah, I know, but like he is a good horse, Rock My Way at the same time. And like your man beat him up with sticks.
He could go up very short, It's For Me.
But it's always a big field race, doesn't it? It rarely just 20 horses. He won't be much less than 2-1 at the same time, no matter how good he is, really.
Okay. But you're pretty confident on It's For Me in the Weatherby's Champion bumper?
Yeah, I'd go with him, yeah.
4-1 with Bet365. It's For Me for Johnny Dineen in the Weatherby's Champion bumper. And I apologise, right, for my selection this week. But I went through the markets, Johnny, and I said to myself, right, is there one horse here that I could find that will win and is too big of a price? And I think it's after seeing what I saw on Saturday at Fairyhouse, where Astro Diamond did well to get out of a pocket and win the Sol Arena hurdle at Fairyhouse. I don't think Astro Diamond is going to be beating Lucia. I just don't. I don't think she's good enough to beat Lucia. I think she's very good, Astro Diamond, but I don't think she's Lucia. And Lucia, for me, I went back and watched the race at Newbury. She's a Saint second. There was a swagger about it, Johnny. We spoke about it at the time. It was the type of performance you said to yourself, she could run in a Supreme. That's the way I looked at it. She could run the Supreme. I don't think she's going to run the Supreme now, given that Facile Vega's in there, given that Marine Nationale. I think she's going to go for the Mayor's Novice Hurdle. She's 3-1 with Bet365, okay? It's an industry joint top best price, okay? I think she'll go off about 6-4 today. I do. I think she's unbeaten. We don't know how good she is. She's a good jumper. No matter what way the ground is, it seems to be fine for her, because she won in a bog at Sandown last season in a bumper. Her form was working out fine, beating Blow Your Wad and horses like that. I just think she's a cut above what's in the Mayor's Novice Hurdle division. And it pains me to do it, because I don't think I've ever put up a horse this short for the Cheltenham Festival. And the fact that it's still a couple of weeks in advance as well. But I think 3-1 Lucia. I think you're getting 3-1, about a 6-4 shot. And I think you're getting 3-1, about a winner, Johnny Dineen.
Yeah, very likely, Very likely.
Are you okay with this one this week, yeah?
I know she's a great chance, yeah. But like just the fact that she's missed a race, there's just a small bit of a niggle, isn't it?
Yeah.
But look, if she turns up safe and sound, she must have a great chance. Yeah.
So there you go, 2 very safe picks. We're not swinging for sixes. We're just taking the singles.
A wide, yeah.
Yeah, we're just taking the wides, yeah. And we are going for It's For Me for Johnny Dineen, the Weatherby's Champion bumper, and Lucia for me in the Mayor's Novice Hurdle. So we've added It's For Me and Lucia to our Ante-Post picks for the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. Here's a look at our one so far. So Johnny, here's your list scrolling down here. It's a big weekend in the Facile Vega camp. Facile Vega is in a lot of your bets. Facile Vega is your banker for the festival. Facile Vega, you can't really think about that else at the moment. Only Facile Vega. You're lying in bed at night. You're not even thinking about your missus lying beside you. You're thinking about Facile Vega. Will you be in any way nervous on the way down to start when Facile Vega is going down?
No, not at all. No. I mightn't even back it. I probably won't back it, and I won't be nervous because I tipped him. I'd be a lot more nervous if I had my loot on. But I don't really get nervous unless it's you would the odd time now when you really need a winner. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you're gasping for one, when you're like in rag order and you need one, you'd be peppering But so, I remember going to the races. We used to go buddies of mine. We used to watch the race on different tellies. Watch this telly first. Wouldn't back the winner onto another one. Do you know what I mean? When we go around the race course. And I remember one day, Nate, my pal, we lost our brains the same day, next thing anyway. And he hopped into the car and he said, he used to do the same thing. He'd watching Ray, he'd up in the stand, he'd watching Ray, he'd move around, and the next thing he jumped into the car and he said, Jesus, thanks be to God that's over, because there was another race. He said, I'd have had to watch it up on the roof. He was after trying all the rest of the places.
So you're superstitious then, Johnny?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, very much so.
What's your pre-race routine?
Pre-race routine. I don't like. I would be superstitious. Yeah, I would be superstitious.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't have a routine as such, but like if you're with a fella that's bang out of form, like a jinx I'm talking about now.
Jeez, Johnny, you're with me every week.
Yeah, but if you're surrounded by a jinx or what if he's with you, it doesn't end well. It doesn't end well normally.
You don't like to see him coming through the gate.
No. Okay. Yeah. You know, this bad luck follows people around, doesn't it? Like sometimes, you know. Okay. So look, some people are lucky and some people aren't. You know, that kind of way.
Oh, right.
But you normally always get a flavour of what's going to do. If you get a bad beat early on in the day, sets the tone. You finish up, everything goes wrong normally. And if you get away with a bit of luck at the start, you can finish up having a good day. So luck is very important in gambling anyway.
Well, hopefully Facile Vega is lucky for you at Leopardstown on Sunday. And on my selections, which are scrolling down the screen behind us here, Xander Clegane, appreciated. It's a big one for me. King of Kingsfield maybe in the bumper, but King of Kingsfield has a reputation to restore after being very disappointing at Christmas. But Xander Clegane, if Xander Clegane wins convincingly on Saturday, the first race, if he wins that, like latest exhibition did, he'll probably be 3 or 4 to 1 for the Albert Bartlett.
Yeah, I'd say that, yeah.
And I've got him at 18 to 1. So big weekend for Xander Clegane and appreciated. And hopefully King of Kingsfield shows what he shows at home and shows what he did in Dowd Royal the first day in the bumper. But there you go. Those are our picks for the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. So folks, that's it for episode 13 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365. But before we go, Johnny, it's a hot topic at the moment, the whip. And you have a strong opinion. It wouldn't be like you to sit on the fence. But what is your opinion of the new whip rules in Britain?
Look, I hadn't been following it until lately. And I even said to you here a few weeks ago, I watched Sean Quinlan riding a horse, and I was saying to myself, like, in my eyes, he should have won. He should have won. Yeah. And I think Sean Quinlan is an excellent jockey. Probably the best rider in the north of England. I'd have him fractionally even in front of Brian Hughes if I had to pick one of the two. Now, Brian Hughes was fine as well, but I would go for Quinlan. But I'm looking at him in disbelief. I said, what's going on here? Like, what is he doing? But I looked at it. I listened to him in an interview there yesterday or the day before, and he said that he's lost his confidence because some of the trainers and owners were saying that you're not riding to your ability. And this whip thing that's coming in now, it has obviously affected him. He said he would have got 51 days for rides that he's ridden in the last period of time. Harry Cobden would have got 24 days for his ride in Il Ridotto by the new rules. You said a minute ago it was a great ride. I thought it was a great ride. Yeah, absolutely.
And he didn't just go for the stick. It wasn't his first thought. We said that after the second last, he landed. Most jockeys would have said, right, I'm going to get stuck in. He said, no, wait. And he still would have got a ban.
With the new rules, he'd have got 24 days. Now, I've been listening to
bonkers.
Matt Chapman on about it. Now, Matt Chapman, to me, knows what he's talking about. I think he's very good. Very good. And I think he's really, really good, and he speaks a lot of sense. Now,
well, he speaks his mind as well. He's not filtered. He's a bit like yourself.
Yeah, but he speaks a lot of sense. But now, the only thing I would say about Matt is, right, like,
how are you, Matt?
You're at home on a Monday night. You lay a favourite in Windsor. You know what I mean? On Monday night when that's usually on, it wins by maybe a short head, given a good ride by some fella. Next thing they go by the line, you've done your cobblers, and the next thing, boom! Do you ever see that?
Oh, that boom! That boom drives me demented.
You could do without that one, especially when your head is twice the size it should be. But anyway, he's on about the whip, and he's right. He's right. What's happening at the moment is that the good jockeys are being negated, and they're going to be brought down to the level of the ordinary rider, because these fellas imagine if Dino's Beano was running now. Remember that horse, Dino's Beano? You might be betting him for 3 miles or pushing him.
Brave Inca.
Exactly. But it looks like to me that they're taking the jockeyship out. Like, put it this way, if you land over the last now with these new rules, just say you had a 7-pound claimer and Barry Geraghty. You say, I'm on Geraghty, I've won here. Now with these rules, it's going to be tossed up by the looks of things. You know what I mean? So it's definitely
something needs to be done.
I don't know what they can do, but you can't have a situation where good jockeys are being punished for riding good races.
Yeah, there's something seriously wrong there.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Like you're going to have. It looks like a situation you're going to have like steerers. Like you're going to have fellas sitting up now just steering them. So they may as well take the whip off them at that stage if that's going to be the case. You know what I mean? Let them ride away without the whip. Yeah. You know, if you can't use it properly, you might as well not have it at all.
There you go. Straight talking from our straight talking Johnny Dineen. And to end on a positive note, Johnny, good racing this week.
I'm looking forward to it now. It mightn't be a punting medium for it, but it's going to be very interesting, and you're going to be able to pick through races, and there's going to be bubbles burst, and there's going to be horses come into the markets that you didn't expect, and who knows what's going to happen there. But look, Dublin Racing is quality racing at the same time, quality racing. And Sandown's a good car too on Saturday. Like, I think if that runs there, Jerry Calam will good thing over there, but I don't know if he's running that, but if he does, he'll win at the same time.
Okay. Very good, Johnny.
Okay.
Thanks for this week.
Yeah, okay, right. No problem.
Enjoy it?
I do, yeah, I enjoy it.
You got stuck in this week.
Yeah,
I tell you, you get a whip ban anyway.
I thought you were going to hit me early on in the show, but
Edward Stone, no chance in the championship.
I'm pretty sure you're not an aggressive character.
No. Of all my traits, Johnny, aggression wouldn't be one of them. Right, but anyway, it's been a pleasure. This week's show is done and dusted. It is week 13. We're on to week 14 next week. We're back every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Don't forget to join us then. You'll be back?
I will, hopefully,
Hopefully. We will be dissecting all things the Dublin Racing Festival. Same time, same place, next Tuesday. I've been David Jennings. He's been Johnny Dineen. Thanks for watching Up in the Ante.